You must please be more careful with the blackout curtains, Mary. Miss Prudence will be a little late.
6:15 this evening in the forest of Compiègne, an armistice was signed between France and Germany. The resistance of France has ended. Her surrender is absolute, her fall complete. In Berlin tonight, a government spokesman declared that the conquest of Britain by the end of September is now definitely assured. He pointed out that the channel between Dover and Calais is a mere 7 minutes flying distance.
That's one good thing about the wireless. You can always turn it off. You share it, Mrs. Dexter?
Thank you. It's all so unreal and terrible.
It's that announcer fellow that annoys me. He talks as if he had a mouthful of golf balls.
It's wonderful that he can be so cheerful when he has to tell us such awful things.
Dinner is served, sir.
Oh, thank you, Parsons, thank you.
Miss Prudence telephoned, sir. She said she'd be a little late.
Oh. Is Dr. Roger in yet?
Not yet, sir.
I'll give him another 5 minutes.
Why, Roger, you certainly keep late hours nowadays.
Oh, hello, Wilfred. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Oh, that's all right, Roger.
Well, how'd you do, Vicar? How'd you do, Mrs. Malcolm?
Your hospital must be getting some pretty bad cases.
They're sending the worst straight down to the West Country. Most of ours are shock exposures. When men haven't slept for days on end, you have to teach them how to close their eyes.
Heard the news this evening?
Yes. Well, thank you, Parsons. Well, we know now where we stand, don't we?
Napoleon conquered the whole of Europe. He never touched England.
Napoleon didn't have 15,000 bombers.
Well, there's no need for us to get excited.
Don't you think perhaps it's time we did get excited?
Why, Roger, please.
Do you know what our enemies say every night in their prayers? They say, please, God, keep the English from getting excited for 1 more year. We shall never need your help again.
Oh, for goodness sake, let's talk about something cheerful.
Oh, come on now. We've never had jitters in this old house, and we're not going to start this evening. Roger's right. We know where we stand now. And thank heaven for that. Now, let's go in before the soup gets cold. He's really looking remarkably well when you think of all the hard work he's been doing.
Yes.
You have coffee in here, sir, or in the library?
In the library, Parsons. Port, Iris?
No, thank you.
Parsons,
Yes, sir.
did Miss Prudence tell you what had delayed her?
No, sir.
You're her father, Roger. It's no concern of mine, but if you want my opinion, Prudence is not behaving in a manner befitting her position. Yesterday afternoon, she took Bert Higgins, the gardener, for a drive in her car, instead of attending Lord Evesham's charity party.
Bert Higgins is convalescing. I took out his appendix last month.
Well, that doesn't confer special privileges.
I remember taking out Lord Evesham's appendix a year ago. Do you know it was exactly like Bert's?
Yes, that's a ridiculous argument. We don't shake hands with each other's appendixes. Or is it appendices? I'm not against equality. I'm perfectly prepared to be equal with anybody, providing they don't start being equal with me.
Grandfather, I'm terribly sorry. I know I'm awfully late.
That's all right, Prue.
Good evening, everybody. Do you mind if I don't change?
Of course not. We thought you'd been captured by one of those German parachute fellows. Bring Miss Prudence her dinner, Parsons.
Well, what have you been up to?
Oh, I got delayed in Garsley. I had so many things to do.
Things to do in Garsley?
Yes, I had my hair done and...
You mean you drove 15 miles in wartime to have your hair done?
Oh, I had a lot of other things to do at the same time. I did some shopping and I had my hair done and then I joined the WAFs.
You joined the what?
The WAFs, the Women's Auxiliary Air Force.
We hadn't even heard you'd applied for a commission.
Oh, I didn't apply for a commission. I joined the ranks.
My dear Prudence, why on earth didn't you tell me? I could have arranged for you to be an officer.
But I don't want to be an officer till I've learned to be a private.
Are you aware that Annie Smith, who scrubs the schoolhouse floors, joined the WAFs as a private?
Yes, I told her she ought to.
For generations, the Cathaways have been leaders, Prudence, not followers. In joining this woman's army, you are throwing aside certain, shall I say, traditions that have always entitled the Cathaways to lead.
Quite possibly she was thinking of something else.
What exactly are you suggesting, Aunt Iris?
I'm suggesting nothing, my dear. I'm merely facing the fact that some of you girls of today would do almost anything in the world to be different. You think it clever to be different, even at the expense of your own family.
When you and Uncle Wilfred talk, I seem to hear words oozing from the holes of a moth-eaten sofa.
Prudence, remember where you are.
I do remember where I am. I'm in 1940 and you're in 1880. You and people like you are a worse danger to us than Hitler is. Yes, I mean it. One day we may look back and thank Hitler for some of the things he's done to wake us up, but we'll never look back and thank you. You believe that 40 million people exist in England to make you comfortable. You hate this war because you knock your shins in a blackout. You grumble about it because it deprives you of your favorite German bath salts. And what's more, you fear it because the common men who are doing the fighting may suddenly begin to doubt the importance of risking their lives to keep the Uncle Wilfreds and the Aunt Irises in a mortal part of England. Give me a glass of sherry, will you, Parsons?
Yes, Miss Prudence.
Shall we go into the library? Yes. you joining us, Father?
Yes. Yes. Shall we? Coming, Roger.
Certainly. We had some excellent chocolate meringues tonight. I shouldn't miss them if I were you.
I'm afraid I was rather rude, Parsons.
On the contrary, Miss Prudence. If I may say so, it had flavor.